Atoms by George Saunders, first published in 1992 in The New Yorker, read by me, Dr. Christian Lehman. I could stomach Adams, and then one day he's standing in my kitchen in his underwear, facing in the direction of my kid's room. So I wonk him on the back of the head, and down he goes. When he stands up, I wonk him again, and down he goes. Then I roll him down the stairs into the early spring muck, and I'm like, if you ever again, I swear to God, I don't even know what to say, you miserable fuck. Karen got home. I pulled her aside. Upshot was, keep the doors locked, and if he's home, the kids stay inside. But after dinner, I got to thinking, guy comes in his shorts, and I'm sitting here taking this? This is love? Love for my kids? Because what if we slip up? What if a kid gets out or he gets in? No, no, no. I was thinking, not acceptable. So I went over and said, where is he? To which Lynn said, upstairs. Why? Up I went, and he was standing at the mirror, still in his goddamn underwear. Only now, he had on a shirt, and I wonked him again as he was turning. Down he went and tried to crab out of the room, but I put a foot on his back. If you ever, I said, if you ever again. Now we're even, he said. I came in your house, you came in mine. Only I had pants on, I said, and Minnie wonked him on the back of his head. I am what I am, he said. Well, that took the cake, him admitting it, so I wonked him again as Lynn came in saying, hey, Roger being me. And then he rises up, which killed me. Him rising up against me, and I'm about to wonk him again, but she pushes in there, like intervening. So to wonk him again, I had to shove her back, and unfortunately she slipped, and down she went. And she's sort of lying there, skirt hiked up, and he's mad at me. Him in his underwear, facing my kid's room, and he's mad at me. Many a night I've heard assorted wonks and baps from Adams's house, with her gasping, Frank, Jesus, I am a woman. You're hurting me. The kids are watching, and so on. Because that's the kind of guy he is. So I wonk him again, and when she crawled at me going, please, please, I had to push her back down, not in a mean way, but in stay there way, which is when, of course, just my luck, the kids came running in. These Adams kids, I should say, are little thespians, constantly doing musicals in the backyard, etc., etc. So they're, all dramatic. Mommy, daddy. And okay, that was unfortunate. So I tried to leave, but they were standing there in the doorway, blocking me. Duh, we do not know which way to turn. We are stunned. So I shoved my way out, not rough, very gentle. I felt for them, having on more than one occasion heard Adams wailing on them too. But one did go down, just on one knee, and I helped her up, and she tried to bite me. She did not seem to know what was what, and it hurt and made me mad. So I went over to Adams, who was just getting up, and gave him this little proxy wonk on top of his head in exchange for the biting. Keep your I said, keep your goddamn kids from. Then I needed some air. So I walked around the block, but still, it wasn't sitting right. Because now it begins, Adam's over there all pissed off, saying false things about me to those kids, which, due to what they had seen, the wonking, and what they had not seen, him in his underwear facing my kid's room, they were probably swallowing every mistruth. And I was like, great, now they hate me. I'm the bad guy in this. And all summer, it's going to be pranks. My hose slipped, syrup in my gas tank, and all of a sudden our dog has a burn mark on her belly. So I type up these handbills saying, just so you know, your dad was standing naked in my kitchen facing my kids' room. And I tape one inside their screen door, so they'll be sure and see it when they go to softball later. And then I stuff like 9 in their mailbox. And on the rest, I cross out your dad and put in Frank Adams and distribute them in mailboxes around the block. All night, it's call after call from the neighbors saying, call the cops. Adams needs help. He's a goof. I've always hated him. Maybe a few of us should go over there. Let us work with you on this. Do not lose your cool. That sort of thing, which was all well and good. But then I go out for a smoke around midnight, and what is he looking at? All hateful. Their houses? Don't kid yourself. He is looking at my house with that smoldering look. And I'm like, what are you looking at? I am what I am, he says. You fuck, I say, and rush over to wonk him. But he runs inside. And as far as cops, my feeling was, what am I supposed to do? Wait until he's back in my house, then call the cops and hope he stays facing my kid's room in his shorts until they arrive? No, sorry, that is not my way. The next day, my little guy, Brian, is standing at the back door with his kite. And I reach over and pop the door shut, going, no, you know very well why not, champ. So here's my poor kid, kite and lap all afternoon, watching some dumb art guy on PBS saying, shading is one way we make death. How about trying it relevant to this stump here? Then, Monday morning, I see Adams walking toward his car. And again, he gives me that smoldering look. Never have I received such a hateful look. And flips me the bird, as if he is the one who is right. So I rush over to wonk him, only he gets in the car and pulls away. All day, that look was in my mind, that look of hate. And I thought, if that was me, if I had that hate level, what would I do? Well, one thing I would do is hold it in, and then one night it would overflow. And I would sneak into the house of my enemy and stab him and his family in their sleep. Or shoot them. I would. You would have too. It is human nature. I am not blaming anybody. I thought, I have to be cautious and protect my family, or their blood will be on my hands. So I came home early and went over to Adams's house when I knew nobody was home and gathered up his rifle from the basement and their steak knives and also the butter knives, which could be sharpened, and also their knife sharpener and also 2 letter openers and a heavy paperweight, which if I was him and had lost all my guns and knives, I would definitely use that to bash in the head of my enemy in his sleep, as well as the heads of his family. That night, I slept better until I woke in a sweat, asking myself what I would do if someone came in and, after shoving down my wife and one of my kids, stole my guns and knives and knife sharpeners, as well as my paperweight. And I answered myself, what I would do is look around my house in a frenzy for something else dangerous, such as paint, such as thinner, such as household chemicals, and then either ring the house of my enemy with the toxics and set them on fire, or pour some into the pool of my enemy, which would, 1, rot the liner, and 2, sicken the children of my enemy when they went swimming. Then I looked in on my sleeping kids, and oh my God, nowhere are there kids as sweet as my kids. And standing there in my pajamas, thinking of Adams standing there in his underwear, then imagining my kids choking and vomiting as they struggled to get out of the pool, I thought, no way, I am not living like this. So, entering through a window I had forced earlier that afternoon, I gathered up all the household chemicals. And believe me, he had a lot, more than I did, more than he needed. Thinner, paint, lye, gas, solvents, etc. I got it all in like 9 hefty bags and was just starting up the stairs with the first bag when here comes the whole damn family, falling upon me, even his kids, whipping me with coat hangers and hitting me with sharp-edged books and spraying hairspray in my eyes, the dog also nipping at me and rolling down the stairs of their basement. I thought, they are trying to kill me. Hitting my head on the concrete floor, I saw stars and thought, no, really, they're going to kill me. And if they kill me, no more little Melanie and me eating from the same popcorn bowl. No more little Brian doing that wrinkled brow thing we do back and forth when one of us makes a bad joke. Never again Karen and me lying side by side afterward, looking out the window, discussing our future plans as those yellow-beaked birds come and go on the power line. And I struggled to my feet, thinking, forget how I got here. I am here. I must get out of here. I have to live. And I began to wonk and wonk. And once they had fallen back, with Adams and his teenage boy huddled over the littlest one, who had unfortunately flown relatively far due to a bit of a kick I had given her, I took out my lighter and fired up the bag of toxics, and made for the light at the top of the stairs, where I knew my freedom was, where I knew the door was, and the night was, and my freedom, and my home.